Hello guys, it's SHOX, I hope you are doing well. Today we're gonna speak about Team Spirit. So Team Spirit is actually the best team of the world at the moment we're speaking in 2025. But there is some specific things I want to talk about that I think can be interesting. Because yes, they are the best team in the world at the moment, but it's also, we can't forget about that, right? They have donk. But in the last actual matches and events, we actually saw something kinda interesting that might be maybe the start of a weakness for Spirit and might be something really interesting to work on for the next team. So there is some topics to talk about that I think is really interesting. Let's check it out. So first, of course, as I said, Spirit is at the moment the best team in the world. There is no doubt about that. When you look at that, even with Vitality winning Katowice, they're having like 663 HTV points, while Spirit are the first one with 1000. So they definitely got an edge at the moment. Then directly the teams just goes to 500 points, 400, 300, 200 even. Like, look at that. Even like the top 9 is 200 points, which is not that much, while Spirit is 1000, which is like the maximum you can have on HTV points. So for sure, that's the best team at the moment we are speaking. That being said, of course, donk is at the moment the best player in 2025 as well. He's averaging a 1.48 rating, which is like just ridiculous. Like, imagine he's not an AVP, he just got his rifle, he's doing a lot of entries, he's getting a lot of fights. So it means like how much he's actually winning like so many fights. If you want to actually get an example about how much his impact is insane, is like he's 1.73. And I checked on Zaiwu, which is like kind of close to him right now because Zaiwu started the year really nice. So I think Zaiwu is like at 144, something like that. But his impact of Zaiwu, I think, is 140 or 150, which is like already like insane, you know. But when we talk about donk, like his impact is 173, which means definitely he's the biggest part of Team Spirit, like performing so well. When you look at after the other players, you have Shiro, who is averaging a 1.23. For an AVP, is really good. He's definitely like in a good shape, and he started well the year. It's hard to be like that much better, you know. There is like so really little players that actually can do better than this statistic. We're gonna talk about donk, about Zaiwu, about maybe Simple back in the days, about Monezi, you know. But besides these kind of players, it's really hard to really like do better in a way, you know. So Shiro is definitely like behind donk, but he's definitely doing his part for the team. But then when you go about Zontix, Magix, it directly goes down to 107, 106, and Chopper, of course, the leader in game, 098. I think 098 for a leader in game in 2025 is fine, but I would say that when you look at more the impact from the players, you can see like there is some red, and this is not a good sign, you know. So definitely like Spirit is just suffering with overperformance from donk since 1 year. I mean, the kid is just arriving and killing everyone since 1 year. He's just insane, you know. And look, if you look at like the past result from Spirit, actually they played like 15 best of 3s in 2025, alright, and they lost only 2, which is like actually insane. 88.9% win rates in the last 3 months. They only lost to Vitality and Navi. So Navi was kind of a close match. I'm not gonna go too much in depth about that. I just think it's could have gone on as well on the Spirit way because it went to the third map overtime. So, you know, it was a really close match. But the last time actually Spirit lost, the way they lost to Vitality, because they got destroyed. If you look at, like, for example, like the statistics, so it was the final of Katowice, 3-0, and basically no one was showing up, even donk. And this is a good topic, what we're gonna talk about that. So I checked the last time actually they got destroyed by a team, and it was against G2 back in November 2024, 3rd of November, so quite some times now, few months passed, you know. Same 3-0, getting totally destroyed, and also donk was not showing that much, alright? So basically, as soon as donk is not doing like an insane performance, a star performance, Spirit is directly in trouble. So that being said, it actually shows up that donk is still a human, right? And when he is not in his Olympic form, basically Spirit is struggling. The team is directly in difficulty, and they are lacking about some firepower behind him. or maybe might be because of the tactical part. Who knows? We are never into a team, so we don't know how much actually they are working on that part. I'm assuming they are definitely like working a lot, especially with the coach who is doing a fantastic job so far. I really loved their vlogs they were doing, for example, in the Shanghai Major. But with the statistic we saw previously, we can definitely say that the thing is, like, when donk is not here, no one is actually like stepping in, you know, to actually maybe take his role, to maybe put the numbers and to help him, you know. So first, donk is a human, and yes, he can have some bad days and he can struggle. That's the first part. Second is actually he got specially destroyed against Vitality in Katowice final. It was the first time for him that actually he faced, I would say, a real game plan against him, you know. Vitality said it in interviews that they had a specific game plan against him. The two biggest part was that first, not from his confidence. We all know, like, CS is a FPS, so first-person shooter, and getting confidence is a huge part of the game and huge part about how you can perform individually, right? So the first thing is like not forming his confidence, while for example when they were in eco, they were never going on him and they were basically avoiding him because they didn't give him that extra confidence that you might have when you are getting a lot of kills in anti-ecos. Second one was to actually never play an isolated duel against him. So they were make sure that they were always two when they were playing like on his area or when he was there on the server. Always make sure to be two to get the trade and never play a 1v1 against donk. That's one of the main rules for Team Vitality going into that final. And it showed up pretty good, basically, because donk got absolutely destroyed the entire series. And as you can see, he could definitely don't do anything. So there might be a question. Could we actually have a game plan anti-donk and play on his carelessness of the game? Yes, because donk is like, he's still young, so he still got a lot of carelessness, and because of his individual skill who is so high, he actually winning a lot of duels. It's like his biggest strength. But with Vitality game plan, it shows up that you can actually counter that, you know, by playing always 2v1, never 1v1 against donk, don't farm his confidence. And actually, donk was definitely, like, it was probably one of his hardest series he did since he joined Team Spirit. And as Vitality showed, actually, it can be so efficient to actually, like, to put donk in difficulties, because as soon as donk is having difficulties, then the level of the world Team Spirit is definitely going down, like, really fast, you know. It's gonna be really interesting to see actually if the teams are gonna copy and I mean what Vitality just did, you know, in Katowice final, because it was actually really efficient. And if donk is in difficulty, then as soon as he's in trouble, Spirit like got a huge problem as a team because they are lacking of firepower, and it's kind of like how they play as a team. So when their superstar is not here, the thing is, like, at the moment we are speaking, there is not enough players behind to actually step in. So I'm actually really curious if it can actually give some ideas for the next teams to actually like do the same plan, because it actually worked pretty nice. And you, what do you think about that? Do you think a game plan anti-donk is the secret to actually beat Team Spirit? Are the other players are gonna be able to step in when the star player is in difficulty? We're probably gonna have our answer really soon in the next matches and in the next events, but you better want to watch it because there is something going on that can be really interesting. I, myself, will for sure give it a look in the next match of Spirit against the big contenders, because maybe Vitality actually inspired and gave a lot of ideas for the big teams when they're gonna play against donk. Thank you for watching the video, I hope you enjoyed it, and see you soon, my friends!